I see people imagining marketing being run by AI. I really do not see that happening anytime soon.
Where has AI actually landed with real weight today and versus where it's mostly hype?
AI has landed strongest on the content. Now the content production time and effort has reduced dramatically. AI is not a marketing channel, right? It's a kind of horizontal capability that cuts across entire value chain of marketing.
So how does that workflow change and where has AI been implemented?
The biggest benefit of AI is it's compressing the workflow. We should shift our focus from producing number of contents to producing content that really stands out. We were producing marketing, now we are directing marketing.
Hello everyone and welcome to the B2B Marketing Podcast presented by B2B Marketing Association and powered by Brand Story Digital. I am your host Saikat Das Mohan. So AI today has become part of our daily lives. Not just our daily lives, it's also part of marketing functions. Today we are using AI in every kind of things that we want to do in marketing, whether it is writing a content, whether it is launching a campaign, or many other functions within the marketing teams. However, I have been asking this one question to all my marketing leaders that I meet is AI just doing or making our old work faster, or is it actually changing something larger? So where is AI actually working well and where the hype is most of the time? What happens when AI just stops listening to you and does things on its own? What are the risks that nobody is really talking about? And the big question is this just a faster way to do the old job, or is it just a completely different game? In this episode of The Great Rewire, how AI is redefining, not just speeding up marketing. We are going to uncover some of these questions and learn what AI is really doing. Joining me today is a marketing transformation leader at the intersection of AI, digital ecosystems, and revenue growth, with 2 decades of experience across global enterprises and growth startups. Please welcome Arun Mukherjee, Director of Digital Excellence, International Markets at Schneider Electric. Welcome to the show, Arun.
Thank you.
We're happy to have you here. And before we begin, for our audience, why don't you just give a quick introduction of yours? Maybe something which is not there on LinkedIn.
Thank you. First of all, thank you for inviting me here. So as you said already, I look after digital excellence for international markets in Schneider. So when I say international markets, you can consider this as entire globe excluding US, Europe and China. So essentially the entire Pacifics, India, Middle East, Africa, South America and all. Very, very different set of cultures, different types of workflows and all. And functionally, it's about digital marketing, digital experience, that means web, mobile, etc. AI, certainly. E-commerce and marketing technologies. So quite a broad scope. So before that, as you said, 20 years, I have worked in brand management. I have worked in factory to start my career. Factory, then brand management, then market research, digital. So different functions of marketing.
Great. That's great. And I think what you're doing right now is also is relevant for our discussion today. Absolutely. Because you can probably, and I'm sure a lot of things from the AI space is actually being implemented across different verticals. So we'll dig deeper into that in the conversations today. But before we go, interesting or I would say a fun question for you. If AI disappeared tomorrow, it's gone, okay? What's the one marketing task you are going to miss the most?
Not a task, but the speed. So if I have to say only one thing, it's the speed. So AI has been here for last 1.5 years, max. So I'm pretty sure we have not forgotten the basic format of working. But the speed that it gives us, I'll miss that.
Absolutely right. I think what AI can today do is, from a speed perspective, I think that's really the great.
Differentiator.
That's a differentiator, and it gives you a lot of time to also think about and do other stuff, which is more which takes a lot of time when you're doing things manually. So I think yes, that's a very great point. So let's get into our discussion. And before I get into more of these discussion on the hype and all of that, let's try to just put it in a map kind of a thing where AI is today. So if you had to sketch the marketing function as a map, say awareness, demand generation, content sales enablement, analytics and all of that, where has AI actually landed with real weight today and versus where it's mostly hyped?
Where has it not? Anyway, but to answer to your question, AI is not a marketing channel, right? It's a kind of horizontal capability that cuts across entire value chain of marketing. Now, it's my coinage. I fondly call AI our cadre, right? Yes, it is our cadre for the marketing folks, but it also is essentially CADRE. That's where I position it. C stands for content. Of course, we all know that this is where it has landed strongest. A stands for analytics. D stands for discoverability. R stands for research. E stands for experience. Just a bit more, as we all know that AI has landed strongest on the content. Now the content production time and effort has reduced dramatically. And so therefore, actually as marketeers, we should shift our focus from producing number of contents to producing content that really stands out. Exactly. So it not only gives us an advantage, it also comes with a challenge for us. Analytics, I don't have to tell, it's from dashboards to insight on our fingertips. Discoverability with ChatGPTs of the world, with all the answering engines, right? It has changed the perspective altogether. Research, I think, is one of the most underrated areas, which is impacting not only us in marketing positively, but also impacting sales. Imagine if I am going for a client meeting, before that I can do a quick research on my company-owned AI, right? Remember, which connects back with my CRM system, which connects back with my marketing system, and I can get a complete picture of what the customer wants, needs, and also connect back with my repository, internal repository of information, insights, presentations, so that I know what to pitch. So my entire perhaps 2-3 days of research is condensed into 5 minutes, max 1 hour. So those are the key areas. Now, the other side of the story, where it's mostly hype. I see people imagining marketing being run by AI. I really do not see that happening anytime soon, very honestly. Why? There's a reason. AI is fantastic with data, with insights and everything. I respect AI. AI is my cadre, as I said, right? But the marketing leaders, you, everybody, our job is not only that. Where we add our value is essentially by making decisions, by making judgments. And I'll give you 2 specific areas where we are still and would always be, most likely, I'm not a predictor, but most likely, always be superior than AI. We, number one, have the insider information as humans. Right. I know what perhaps my CEO is discussing inside a room. That's not yet a public information. Based on that, I can tweak my marketing strategy. I know my strengths and weaknesses of my team. Correct? So I know where to play, which AI doesn't know. AI can give me recommendations. That's one important reason. And the second thing is recency. While AI gives me recommendations based on what happens in the world, what is happening in the world, perhaps till last month, last week, I know that there is a product launch upcoming.
Right.
Which AI doesn't know.
Yes.
So that is where we bring in the value as humans in deciding in judgment. So AI is not replacing marketing anytime soon. The second key hype that I feel is about personalization.
Yeah.
We all marketeers, we are fond of this word personalization. Yes. We have been using this ever since.
Personalization at scale and all of this.
So many. Real-time personalization at scale. We put words around it and we love that.
Correct.
The challenge is AI is only as good as the data is. Absolutely. As the consents are, as the context is, as the content is. And it requires a big orchestration. So it's not there yet. Yeah. So I would say that AI definitely has helped us significantly, not in automating the marketing, but in augmenting marketing. And it has also put us, the marketeers, up in the value chain. We were producing marketing, now we are directing marketing.
That's really very well put, Arun. I think, and the way you defined cadre, I think that's actually the real places where AI has impacted in a very positive way. And yes, and I really cannot agree more with you when it comes to the hype part of it. Yes, a lot of marketers think today AI can do it. Okay, in fact, just to give you an example, I've met few of them. And they're running the entire campaigns through AI without even understanding that how your customer is, where it is, and how are they running where to reach them. And because AI is running it, they think it's cost effective and they're running it, but they're not getting any ROI out of it. And that's the problem. And this is what marketeers are not understanding today, that AI is not going to do that. You have to direct it. You have to give them the right information to be able. And you mentioned some of the real points. What does your CEO think? What is your CMO thinking? What is your product team thinking?
And what are your challenges of the teams?
These things AI does not have. That's such an important thing. I completely agree with you on that. Now that we have discussed about the hype and where it has impacted, let's just think about a situation or a situation where you would have been about a specific workflow. Let's think about it. So from start to finish, you have a certain workflow, and just explain me if in your understanding, what was it 18 months or before AI, 18 months before. And now that AI has come in, so how does that workflow change, and where has AI been implemented?
First of all, very nicely put, the word workflow, and I'm going to use this word workflow going forward. And that is something that I told you just a while back, that the biggest benefit of AI is it's compressing the workflow, marketing workflow, from something which were perhaps month or weeks or months to days, or maybe sometimes even hours.
Right.
I'll give you an example. Imagine a business leader I'm discussing with a business leader about launching a campaign.
Right.
And there are discussions about, okay, let's have a microsite. Let's have a campaign page, what we call it, right? Microsite. What would have been the process before this? I would have heard that. I would have gone back to my desk. Perhaps I would have built the mock-up on a PowerPoint. Perhaps I would have taken that back to the business leader. He or she will have his or her own perspectives. I'll go back to perhaps the digital team, ask them to build a mock-up. So it creates a lot of iterations. Number one, takes a lot of time, and also very underrated, creates a lot of friction.
Right.
I would go and get something built by the digital team. I'll go back to the business leader, and then we'll discuss. No, it's not. I'll again go back to digital team, and then.
So there's a lot of to and fro that happens. Yeah.
With AI, what we are doing, and I think everybody is doing the same now, is that I sat with the business team. Okay, we need a mock-up. We need a website, right? Let's build it right away. So we built the mock-up right away, then and there.
Okay.
It took 5-10 minutes of prompting. We got the mock-up, then feedback. We made the changes. In 2-3 hours time, we actually finished the alignment. Then went back to perhaps we'll go back to the digital team and get it done, whatever. So imagine how we are condensing the entire few weeks workflow into a few hours. That's one. The second good example is in multinational companies, when we launch campaigns across the geographies, right? Once we develop the campaign, then we have to do localization, personalization, adaptation, translation. All of these are process.
They're all processes.
Which were taking long time.
Yes.
Now what's happening? Build the campaign. It comes in a jiffy. Of course, you have to contextualize. As I say, that marketing people, the humans, will have an advantage.
Absolutely.
We'll go through that round.
Yeah.
But the first work is done very quickly.
Right.
So it's actually changing the workflow, reducing the time required, iterations, and very underrated but very important, reducing frictions.
Right.
Within the organization.
Right. Yeah, I think that's a very the examples that you gave. I think it's a very valid example, and I think it does reduce the friction.
Yes.
But don't you think that sometimes when you design a microsite and all, just an
example,
just a thought that designers are there and they have a certain thinking and they have certain brand value that needs to be incorporated.
Of course.
So how do you think AI brings that in these situations? And this is purely to that example of microsite. It can be different for others.
Correct. So at the end of the day, as I said, human owns it. And even in the microsite example, when I told that, okay, after we align on the basic things, then all the changes will happen. Okay. When I go to content production, see how it's happening. I honestly cannot imagine in today's world a content going out from ideation to execution without being touched by AI at any point in time.
Right.
I cannot imagine.
Right.
So, but also remember that AI works at a production layer. It crunches my production time. It gives me a decent quality output at the first instance. But at the end of the day, the editorial authority, the designer's authority remains. Once I get that, and it's important for us also to exercise that authority.
Correct.
The example that you gave a while back, that somebody took live the campaign completely on AI, doesn't happen that way.
Yeah.
You miss on certain areas, right? So the designer's authority remain. Let me give you a completely different analogy. We all have done complex analysis on Excel.
Right.
Correct? Do we say that the Excel did that analysis?
No,
we
that's
say
we
did the analysis. Yeah. We prepare images, we prepare visuals on Photoshop. Do we say Photoshop did the visual? We did the visual.
Yeah.
That's a subtle, not a subtle, but big distinction.
Right.
While AI is nothing but a productivity tool like Excel or Photoshop, just it's super duper more intelligent.
It is more intelligent and more faster.
More faster, right? But at the end of the day, I am the one who is doing it.
Correct.
The marketer is the one who is doing it. So that's what it is. So editorial authority never goes out. I typically consider in this context AI as a super smart copywriter who doesn't get tired, who doesn't complain, and who practically knows every language of the world, practically can paint anything. But at the same time, even after I have a super smart junior copywriter, the senior editor has to review it.
Right.
Otherwise, you never know what's going to happen.
Exactly.
Correct. So that's the distinction we need to make.
So I think that's a great point that you mentioned, and I think that human intervention and the editorial authority, we need to have that. Okay, that's very, very valid. Now we are talking about workflow. So that brings me to my next section, which is the agents. Okay, now this is a very important thing. Now we started off with AI, that AI can do this and all, and then suddenly we now have agents. Okay, now you can create agents, and agents will do all the things for you. Okay, so on that point, how much of it is still a human directing a tool step by step, and how much is starting to run on its own? And agent making decision inside guardrails you have set. So what do you think about that?
So I would really like to look at it as a spectrum. At one end of the spectrum, it's AI assisted workflow.
Correct.
Right. So I command AI to write a blog post, build a emailer, or maybe create an image, and AI does that. I own, I direct, AI does it. That's an AI assisted workflow.
Yeah.
A little further, I call it AI Copilot, not Microsoft Copilot. AI Copilot. I am the captain of the ship. I am driving it, but AI is very much part of the decision making. Example, AI recommends the audience. AI measures the performance of the campaign and then suggesting me what should be the changes.
Right.
So AI is very much part of the decision making process, but at the end of the day, I'm the captain.
Got it.
Third level, AI agents, where I not only give it a task, I give it an objective, which it fulfills over the longer period of time. Monitor social media and flag me whenever you find something. Or launch campaign A, then campaign B, then campaign C based on this decision tree. So these are agents. At the fourth level, AI run marketing.
Correct.
Okay. Where CMO is being replaced by AI. Now, I see most of the organizations at this point in time are somewhere between level 1 and level 2, AI assisted or AI copilot. Some organizations are experimenting or slowly, gradually moving towards AI agent. The fourth one, I do not see, honestly, it's coming anytime soon. AI run marketing. I do not see that coming anytime soon. I have explained that already about the decision-making process.
Yes.
The big thing is we are moving from, as marketeers, we are moving from prompting AI to managing AI. And I honestly, I'm waiting for the day positively when I see the marketing teams will manage, marketing leaders will manage human as well as smart algorithms.
Okay.
That can happen.
Correct. So that's a good point. I think, and I also agree. AI assisted is, and the second one,
AI Copilot.
AI Copilot. I think this is where most of the work is
Correct.
happening today.
Correct.
AI agents, yes, people are
We are
experimenting.
just
But I'm still not very sure whether in the marketing functions we can have AI agents. Yes, in a development role or in a in a software projects and all of that, I think probably AI agents might work really well. I'm not very sure whether in a marketing function AI agents will be able to do that.
Depends on what sub-function.
What
Launching a campaign already happening.
Launching a campaign already happening, but probably it's not a completely there right now. You still need that assistance because platforms are different. How do you really
Connect with them?
Connect all of that, and all platforms are not connected, as you
Right.
know. We cannot connect a Google to a LinkedIn to a Meta. These are all different platforms. How do you really connect and therefore bring that? So I think that's there, and I think agents can really, and the AI agent space can also be important when it comes to analyzing all the data from all the contents together.
Absolutely.
I think that is where AI agents can work.
Performance
performance
measurement.
Performance measurement and all of that. Perfect. So, okay, now we spoke about AI agents, and there are this whole agents and AI run and all of that. We have already spoken about the content part of it, which you mentioned earlier, because I had one question around that in terms of how much of your brand today uses AI content, and is the audience able to know about that? I'm not sure.
As I told you that I cannot imagine nowadays any campaign, any content going out in the market without being touched by AI at any point in time.
Right.
We are doing research on AI. We are doing campaign briefing on AI. We are building the images on AI. We are writing the copy on AI. We are localizing.
Yeah.
There are so many opportunities.
Yeah.
At least somewhere AI will touch us.
Correct.
So I seriously cannot imagine. However, what was your second question? Second part of the question?
The second part was, and does the audience know about it?
Depends on the context. If, as I said earlier, I gave the analogy of Excel and Photoshop. If I'm using an AI tool as my productivity tool, I really don't think the customer would care. Customer would care about whether my content is engaging, whether my content is trustworthy, whether they're valuing it. They really do not care whether I have drafted that somewhere or wherever, right? And definitely AI can give me the first draft. We have been discussing this, but it cannot give us the final version. So at the end of the day, I use some tool, some productivity tool, and deliver the campaign.
Correct.
So customers don't need to know. But the important nuance is, if it's such an activity or such a content which will basically make the customers feel that this is an original piece of work or this is an original lived experience by somebody, then it's a question of ethics.
Right.
So at that point in time, transparency becomes much more important.
Got it.
But in general cases, I think it's okay.
Right. And any example of a brand you've loved the content and then suddenly you realize, oh, this is made by AI?
A lot.
Example?
Now, I cannot give you any specific example, but you go to Instagram.
Yeah.
Now 80% of the content you see is made of AI.
Yeah.
Right?
Correct.
So everybody is doing that.
Perfect. Okay. So now that we have
Sorry, I may add a bit on my previous statement.
Yeah.
I understand because I am in this profession. You understand because you are in this profession.
But people who are not,
People
they
may not understand.
Correct. Now we've spoken a lot about AI and the functions and the agents and all. So let's focus on one of the most important or the key parts of AI, which is the risks that come with the usage of AI. Okay, there is a brand risk, legal, trust issues, and team capabilities. Okay, so what are the risks that actually keeps you up? And to see that okay, I'm using AI in my day-to-day work, but these are some of this. So what are some of these risks that nobody is talking about, but are something which are really important? And I'll add to it also, and if you have to mitigate those risks, what are the kind of guardrails that you really put for your team or in the conversations, so to ensure that you're not at risk?
What really frightens me is when companies starts to depend on AI, starts trusting AI, even before they have set up the governance.
Right.
That's what is the overarching worry. Now, if I have to tell you what are the different risks, I see broadly 4 types of risk. Okay? First one is ownership risk. The big question is, when I am using a content produced by AI, who owns the intellectual property?
Correct.
Is it me, the brand, or is it the algorithm? So that is where I always believe that we should not use any content as it is.
Correct.
We should make sure it's our own. We can get the first draft, then you do something else. And it also has another perspective. The content that the AI algo is using, are you sure it's not copyrighted somewhere? So essentially, make sure that we take care of the ownership risk.
Ownership risk, yeah.
And again, that's part of the governance. The second key risk that I see is authenticity risk. And when I say authenticity, there are again 2 parts to it. One is the content that I am producing. Is that correct? Factual correctness. It has to be researched by a human. And the second thing is similarity. Imagine I prepared a video and the video sounds like, and the person sounds like Amitabh Bachchan. Everybody knows the voice of Amitabh Bachchan. Now, it's an ethical question. We are producing something which has never happened in reality.
Right.
Right. So, similarity risk and factual correctness.
Correct.
So that's about authenticity. The third risk is brand and reputation. Of course, we have a strong governance not to use brand logo or even our products for that matter, which is the images which are AI generated, because that is something that we own.
Correct.
And there is slight mistake, there is slight change in the way you position our product can be huge.
Correct.
And we have seen a lot of examples from different brands otherwise. I'll not get into that, but it's a risk. So that's the third one. And the fourth big risk is data. Marketing teams actually sit on a huge volume of customer data, business data, and all, right? Now, we need to use those in AI, but there has to be authorized AI partners, vendors with the privacy agreements signed and everything is ensured, right? We cannot just use that data in anywhere in the public AI, open domain AI. So these are the 4 big risks. So therefore, one thing I always tell my colleagues or anybody else for that matter is AI will produce things, but at the end of the day, humans need to own it. You have to own it. The brand needs to own it. Right? So I cannot just say that, okay, somebody else, the ASM algorithm made the fault. So those are the challenges. And you asked about the mitigation as well. I think the key part is governance. Unfortunately, the moment we use the word governance, sometimes it's interpreted as we are trying to slow down innovation.
Right.
I very strongly believe that good governance doesn't slow down innovation. It rather helps innovation to scale up with a safety net. Without governance, perhaps a few enthusiasts will use this in my office or for that matter in my wherever. With governance, a large number of people will actually feel safe to use AI.
Right.
So that's the safety net that I'm providing them so that a lot many more number of people can actually use AI.
Correct.
Or innovation. So governance is a key thing. Who owns the governance? It's not owned by a single person or a single team. It's actually a shared responsibility. Marketing owns customer experience. Legal owns compliance. IT owns data security. And the very important nuance in this is governance cannot be a policy document.
Correct.
It has to be ingrained into the workflow.
Right.
Again, we are coming back to workflow.
Correct.
So the workflow has to be designed in such a way that the governance elements are placed.
Are placed in every
step. In every stage.
Yeah.
And it goes through what we call human in the loop.
Right.
It goes through the regular approval process, so on and so forth. So that's how typically we are mitigating the short-term risks. These are big risks, by the way, short-term, while I'm saying this, short-term risks and the thing. Now, if I change gear, if I broaden my perspective and I look perhaps 10 years, 20 years from now, I see very different kinds of risks emerging. One, cognitive dependence. Imagine if when from briefing to strategizing to content to campaign, everything is being done by AI. I stop asking difficult questions. Marketing gets its productivity. It becomes faster. The brands, whatever. But at the cost of a declining, critical thinking.
Right.
That's one big risk in a long term, cognitive dependence. The second one I call content convergence. If all of the companies, all of the brands are using same set of or similar set of AI tools trained on the similar set of public data, then imagine what's going to happen.
Content will be very similar.
Content will be very similar. The marketing campaigns will be very similar. The strategies will be very similar.
And we have seen that in many of the cases.
We are seeing this already.
Two brands having the similar kind of,
Correct, absolutely.
Especially when you look at stock images.
Yep. Very same.
All the every other brand has the same stock image. One is talking about sustainability, somebody is talking about something else, but the image
Same
is
stock
the
image.
same. So yeah, that's
so that's another very big risk. And that is where again we are going back to the governance areas. We need to make sure that every content is touched by human, so that we do not lose the discrete tone and voice and content of the brand. So that's the second big risk. And the third one is, to me, the biggest one. Marketing has always been regarded in the organization as the customer's voice, right? We are the living memory of the organization about how my customers behave, what my product should do, etc. And we have earned that respect by doing hard work.
Correct.
It was not easy.
Correct.
We met with the customers, we did market research, we analyzed competition, we went to the market. And earned that reputation of being the customer's voice inside the company. Now, if I'm using AI for all of these things for the next 10 years, we lose that credibility, I would say.
Credibility, yeah.
I mean, I may be using a strong word, but that's the biggest risk. Yeah. So, I see that the great marketeers of the future are not the ones who outsource their thinking to AI. Rather the ones who leverage AI to think better.
Correct.
But cannot outsource the thinking to AI. I may be sounding a very old school, but I believe, and I tell it to myself and tell it to others, whoever I meet, please don't lose the touch with the customers.
Correct.
Be there in the market, talk to them directly. Again, you may call me old school, but that's a hard way to learn things. And when you come back to your office, when you meet the business, then you bring that value.
Absolutely. I think very, very well put in terms of the risks that are there. Yes, the risks are there, and it's very important to have those guardrails set in the right way, and it has to be across all the things. I really and what you mentioned about the risk of the cognitive
dependence
and I think
content convergence.
And the one point that you mentioned, which is the last one, which is the trust and credibility. I think that is one of the biggest ones, because as a brand, if you lose that, then what you build over years, you cannot. It takes again a lot of time. So I think that's one of the biggest risks that brands need to think about and consider it. We've spoken about risks now, and there are a lot of things that we spoke about, content and all of that. Let's get into the capability point of view. And now when I'm talking about capability, it is not just about AI capability, it is about the capability of the people. Okay. So, or the marketer. So what are those kind of things? So if you are today hiring somebody, what's that one skill on the job description that you would add, which is not there probably 2 to 3 years ago?
A lot of people will be tempted to say that I hire based on AI skills. I have a slightly different opinion. So, honestly, I would see the people who would be ruling the game in the future are the people who can orchestrate, between AI, data, people, and processes. I think that's the whole gamut, right? AI, data, people, process, right? Who can orchestrate between that? We have been hiring historically for functional skills.
Correct.
Content, campaign optimization, building good presentations.
Right.
I'm not saying those skills are irrelevant. Those skills are still very relevant. But with AI, what happened? The time or effort required to perform those tasks has come down significantly. So what I'm really excited about or looking forward to is people who can actually redesign the marketing workflow.
Yes.
Can they work with market intelligence? AI-led recommendations, people's capabilities, brand's requirements together, and come up with something which is really good, really great for the customer. Unthinkable before. This is what I call AI orchestration. AI versus non-AI. Humans versus machines. Not versus, human and machines. I see that is the skill. So if I have to build the skill stack of the marketeers, at the foundation level, it's a business skills.
Right.
They need to understand the industry, the product, the customer, the competition, the market. That is non-negotiable. The foundation skills. At level 2, they need to be data literate. Can they come up with insights from data? Can they rather challenge or question the data? This is a very, very rare skill to question the data, by the way. Third is, at the third level, they'll be able to orchestrate AI. So AI versus marketing automation versus this, that, etc. that I said. And at the fourth level, that's extremely critical for you to succeed. Judgment. Do they know the business enough and can comprehend that in the context to question everything else, to contextualize things? There are good examples of AI recommending, strong examples of AI recommending forcing budget to some channel, and we decided not to. Because the market context, the business context said something else. So, if you are a future, or if you are a marketeer who is drafting your CV, please make sure that these 4 layers of your skills are properly represented. Your business understanding, your data understanding, your ability to orchestrate AI, and your business judgment. That's what I would say.
Be able to judge. Okay, fantastic. I think so. It's so refreshing to hear this, because a lot of conversations and a lot of things that I noticed today is that you need to be AI, you need to have those skills in AI and all of that. Obviously, which is important, and I think that's the third point that you mentioned. But I think the other 3 points are more important in terms of your understanding of the business, in terms of being able to actually comprehend data and question that, and also the ability to take decision.
Yes.
Because AI can give you some information and data, but are you able to take the right decision based on that? Because you understand the business, how do you link it? I think that's so important that people need to understand, and so refreshing to hear that. Now let's think about this situation. You would have met a lot of people who are in their mid-careers and all of that, who are functional leads or who are experts in something that they've been doing. And as you said, we've been hiring like that. So what would you actually tell them to focus on, if given AI is there for the next 3 months, to learn something new on AI, and that will help them? What is it that from AI perspective you would want to?
I would not ask them to learn 5 AI tools. I'm not going to recommend any AI tool. What I'll rather tell them is that pick up something that you already do. Pick up a workflow. Again, we are repeatedly coming back to the word workflow, because that is what is critical to me. Pick up a workflow that you are anyway doing and redesign that workflow with AI in the middle, at the center. I'll give you an example. This is from my personal life. Okay. As my hobby, I think you didn't know this, I also am writing a script of a drama.
Oh, very nice.
So I always wanted to do that ever since I was a child.
Yeah.
But without AI, I could never do that.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have the scene. First, my human part. So I designed how the scene is going to be, who are going to be the characters, what are they going to talk about, whether it's going to be a funny scene or a sad scene or what. So tone. So I fed that entirely into ChatGPT. And I'm not a native Hindi speaker.
Yeah.
And this drama is in Hindi. So no risk. I'm not going to make grammatical mistakes. I gave it to ChatGPT. It gave me the entire dialogues, entire script. And then I changed it. Again, human intelligence, the augmentation part of it, right?
Yeah.
Finally, when I'm happy with the script, then I went to another AI tool, 11 Labs, right? That's a tool where you can convert text to sound. So I give the voiceovers now. Now my dialogues are ready, voiced over. Third step, I went to some website to download royalty-free musics, which I used as a background score. So now my entire voice is ready. And okay, I used another tool, Audacity. to connect those all together, build the voice file. Then I went to Gemini. Build the individual images which I want to be at the backdrop.
Right.
Then I went to OpenArt. OpenArt is another tool where you can easily, it's a assimilation of various different models and all. I went to OpenArt, use the images created by Gemini and build the videos. Then I went to another video editing tool and merged them all together. So this, and then finally my entire production is ready. This is what I was talking about when I said about AI orchestration. I orchestrated between 4 AI tools, ChatGPT, Gemini, 11 Labs, OpenArt, 2 softwares, one for video, one for audio, and finally came up, and along with my own thought process and all, and came up with this. Coming back to the original question, this is a workflow. So if you are a mid-career marketer, find out the workflow that you are right now working on. And see how can you plug in different parts of AI and do it hands-on.
Got it.
That gives you the best learning, right? So, yeah, so that's what I would not really want them to learn about some standalone AI tools, rather transform their current workflow.
Got it.
That works much better.
That's really, that's a good, I would say that's a good point that you mentioned, because a lot of people today are just focusing on learning tools. Okay, whether it is Claude, whether it is ChatGPT or Gemini, the people are just investing a lot of time and effort in learning tools, which is not a wrong thing. You need to have that kind of understanding also, but from a marketer's perspective or from anybody's perspective, as you said, if you can look at what you do today and therefore you can redesign your workflow using the AI tools and other tools which are available in your case, like the video tools and the auditing tools, I think it is really going to help you in, and that's a good thing. So I think that's a very valid point for our viewers. Don't invest in your learning. I would say invest in your learning in tools, but also try
Within
to see
your
how you can use it within your work. That'll be a great thing. Now let's get to our last segment. So we know what we have understood, and what I hear from you is that AI is making things faster for sure, right? And it is really helping marketers in enabling them in doing a lot of things faster, easier, and in a better way. But human intelligence, human intervention is obviously always required. Okay, so therefore, to ensure that buyers find you trustworthy, and then it's not like, oh, this is a AI generated content, I can't, but that you are building and keeping up with that. Okay, so let's now the question here is that is AI mostly a faster way to do what marketers have always done, or it has changed the rules of the game itself, and what are those rules of the game?
I would approach this question, Saikat, from a different starting point.
Yeah.
Starting from point would be my customers. I, you, him, her, all of us are customers of some brands or the other.
Yeah.
Our buying journey, the customer's buying journey, our decision-making process has changed significantly. Imagine from the days of no internet, where we used to connect two people face to face more often than not. From that came the internet. We had websites. From that came Google, where we were surprised to see that you don't have to try to find the websites. You write it on Google and Google gives you the websites.
Correct.
You click on that, and that was amazing revelation for us.
Correct.
From there now came ChatGPT. Guys, you don't even have to Google. What are you doing? You are Googling for it. You are clicking on those blue links. You are going to each and every website and researching on your own. It's a waste of time. Now we are going to write it in ChatGPT, or for that matter, any answering engine. And we are getting, they're dishing out the answers to us. So my journey as a customer has changed completely. And marketers follow customers.
Correct.
So now connecting back to your original question, yes, marketeers are now dealing with a completely different scenario, which has never been faced. Some impacts of that, the customers have become lazy is too strong a word, but I am tempted to use that word. I have become lazy. I try to ChatGPT first, get the dished out answer, then I validate. Right? But better word would be, more polished word would be convenience.
It's a convenience.
And this trend is not only because of AI. Convenience started from e-commerce. when Amazon came.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, things can come to our home. We don't have to go and buy it. Then came quick commerce.
Quick commerce. Get everything
Things
in 10
can come in
minutes.
10 minutes.
Yeah.
Now, so be it in information, be it in product, the trend is convenience. So how does it impact us? We as marketeers, now we have to be much more cognizant of the customer's exact need.
Correct.
It's not that I give them a link on Google, they come to my website and they find it on their own. They'll ask it in ChatGPT. The first answer that they get, after that they'll perhaps do a 2-3 rounds of iterations. But the answers that they get there will solve their problem, needs to solve their problem. So I also have to be attuned to that. That is one. Second thing is, with convenience, I need to be able to inform the customers at the first go about what they need, about their need, to answer to their need, not to start with who I am, but to start with, okay, you need this is what it is. Now, by the way, do you need to know who I am? So our perspective needs to completely change.
Correct.
So I'd summarize it this way, but there are, I can talk about it for hours.
Absolutely. Okay, so you mentioned about answer engines and which has made us, I would say lazy, or maybe it's a convenience. So from on that point, how do you think brands should start approaching to be more visible in the answer engines? That's one of the biggest problems that a lot of brands are facing, in terms of citations and all of that. So what do you, in your view, what do you think?
It gives me a deja vu moment. Long time back, when we were all in the digital marketing industry, we were all trying to learn the code of Google. How do we master the Google thing and be on the top, right?
Right.
So we did that for 20 years.
Yeah.
Now everything falls flat.
Correct.
I'm sure all of us have heard the word GEO or AEO, answering engine optimization or generative engine optimization.
Correct.
So that's the key thing. Now it doesn't conflict with SEO. Actually, GEO sits on top of great SEO.
Yeah.
If you're not found on Google,
Yeah.
rest assured you will not be found on ChatGPT.
Yeah.
And a lot of principles of generative engine optimization is actually similar or same as SEO principles, right? For an example, you have to be accessible, so, or crawlable, whatever you call it. That remains same in both of the cases. You have to have authority. That remains same in both of the cases. So a lot of such principles remain same between SEO and GEO. So there is no big conflict. GEO is just one step ahead. And what is that additional step? Not maybe exactly one step, but what is that additional thing? Google was giving a passive link.
Correct.
I call it passive now. Once I was excited about this. Now I call it passive. See,
Yeah.
Google gives me a passive link. An answering engine gives me the answer. How does it prepare that answer? Of course, it does some sort of search. If it's not in this, it's already in memory. It does some kind of search. It synthesizes all the data from all the sources. It ranks them properly. I mean, common sense. It ranks them properly. Okay, this is an authoritative statement or authoritative speaker or site or whatever. This is not that much. So I rank them. And then after synthesizing, I contextualize it with your questions.
Correct.
The customer has, or the user has asked this question, so I have to tune my, change my tone and everything, or the answering. It does all of those things before it publishes the answer to you.
Got it.
We have to master, as a brand now, we have to make sure that the ChatGPT's life is easy. That's what we need to think in principle. How can I make ChatGPT's life easy? Number one, ChatGPT will pick me up if I'm authoritative. So I have to build my authority.
Right.
And authority doesn't get built from a single source. I have to ensure that a large part of internet is also talking about me.
Right.
Which was again same in SEO as well,
Right.
right? Backlinks and all of those things we spoke about for last 20 years. And the second thing is, I have to make sure that ChatGPT can find me. Again, same as the old SEO concept.
Right.
The third thing is different. And the third thing is, we have to be we have to give self-contained answers. Correct? We have to segment. We cannot write a long essay now. Earlier, a long essay was good.
Right.
Now we have to give specific answers so that my dear friend ChatGPT's life is easy. It can just pick me
And
up
they can start picking
and
up.
place it there.
Correct.
So if we think about it in principle from this perspective about how can I make ChatGPT's life easy,
Yeah.
then I think we can solve the problem.
Yeah.
But that's not all.
Yeah.
Imagine you Saikat, or I, or for that matter anybody, how do we ask questions to ChatGPT? We ask broadly two types of questions.
Yeah.
One is at a top of the funnel level.
Yeah.
What is home automation?
Correct.
How can I set up a studio like this?
Correct.
Top level, top of the funnel questions. And then there are bottom of the funnel questions. Once I know about the top of the funnel things, then I ask, okay, tell me a brand of mic. Tell me which are the top 10 studios in Bangalore, or tell me which are the top 10 home automation solutions in India.
In India.
These are bottom of the funnel questions. For the top of the funnel, if you were ChatGPT, where would you have taken the response from? You would have taken it from maybe the brand websites, maybe Wikipedia, all the common or non-commercial places, most likely. And for the bottom of the funnel questions, top 10 home automation companies,
Right.
you would have perhaps gone to a blog, reputed blog, a listicle website. So my strategy for the top of the funnel and the bottom of the funnel queries on ChatGPT or answering engines has to be different. So again, summarizing a couple of things. Number one, in principle, we have to make ChatGPT's life easy.
Right.
Basically give them answer snippets
Right.
in my website itself. And the second thing is we need to have separate strategy for top of the funnel and bottom of the funnel.
Right.
That's how I would summarize how brands should play this game.
Got it. Very well said. I think it's not about just being visible. You'll have to do something within
Absolutely.
and one of the conversations that I had with one of my guests, very well said, was that SEO, GEO and AEO, okay, and SEO is not dying, obviously, for sure, because SEO is the foundation of any company, and
Yes.
if your foundation is strong, then you can do GEO, and then on top of it you can do AEO, which is basically what you are also saying, is that the more good content and the more foundation you have created, a great foundation, you can be more visible on the answering engine. So I think that's what you are also
If
saying.
I may take 30 more seconds,
Yeah.
I can give examples, or if you also do it, you'll see it. Though companies which have been strong in SEO, they have started the GEO journey at a much better position.
Correct. Exactly.
There are many examples of
people
that.
who have done fantastic. Okay. So to the last question before we get into our last segment, okay, and maybe to the closure, is that if a CMO only takes one structural change from this conversation into their 2027 plan, okay, what will that be?
So again, we have spoken about workflow. I'll again come to that because that's what I believe is the key of it. A CEO should not perhaps focus on buying more tools or something. Of course, if it's needed, it's needed. I'm not saying no. Instead of focusing on a strong AI project team, I think the CMO's focus should be on redesigning the marketing workflow in the organization and an AI native team that can operate in that workflow.
Correct.
So, and that's not easy. I think in the next few years, the investments are going to be more in this side rather than the tools, because tools everybody will have.
Correct.
Everybody will have the same set of tools. So the competitive advantage for the CMO will not come from the softwares that they own.
Right.
You have Claude, I have GPT, she has something else. Copilot, we'll all have something or the other, and very similar. The competitive advantage will come from how I design the organization, the culture, the governance, the skill sets, the people. So the competitive advantage will come from there. Otherwise, everybody has the same tools.
Okay.
Now, when I'm saying a AI native marketing organization, it has broadly 5 pillars. The people, process, platforms, governance, and measurements.
Right.
These things fundamentally needs to be upgraded. People, again, I'm perhaps saying it again and again, I don't need a big project team. Yes, perhaps I need, but my focus is going to be to make sure that everybody in my marketing organization can leverage AI, can work in the AI orchestrated workflow.
Correct.
People. On the process side, again, I have to make sure that I redesign the process. Do not try to fix a broken process, or do not try to inject AI into wherever I want. The process has to be built around AI.
Correct.
On the platform side, I have to enable my team with a proved AI stack. not only AI stack, but entire MarTech stack. Approved is very important because otherwise I'm limited or my data sharing is restricted. A lot of things are restricted. So I need to enable the team with that. On the governance, we say that we have to have the governance framework ingrained into the workflow. That's critical.
Absolutely.
Not a policy document, but ingrained into the workflow. And on the measurement side, we have so far been measuring number of content, number of campaigns, budget, the classical metrics of marketing. I think that needs to change.
To bring in the growth and the revenue.
In the growth and the revenue has been there. I'm not saying that. See, with AI, it's now extremely easy to build a campaign. I can do that in half an hour. Or if I have to build content, I can churn out content like anything. So it's not a volume game anymore. Volume now anybody can produce. How do we stand out?
Correct.
How do we differentiate? How do we make ourselves capable? So one line story, if you say what should we do as CMOs, we should make sure that we build an AI native organization and we build the people, process, governance, etc. around it.
That's a good takeaway. And I think that's very important also, because injecting anything to a process which is an old way of doing it, or instead of doing that, creating a completely redesigning the AI native workflow is going to really help, because that's where productivity, efficiency and everything is going to come up. So very interesting point. Okay, so last section, quick rapid fire questions for you, Arun, before we get into our closing. So AI written first draft, yes or no?
Yes.
Bigger threat, bad AI content or no AI content?
I'm actually in two ways, but okay, if I have to select, bad AI content.
And one tool you would recommend every marketer to try this month?
Again, there is no one single tool, but of course Claude.
Yeah.
Or maybe OpenArt.
So that's great. I think fantastic points, Arun, you mentioned, and I'm probably taking taking answers for the questions that I started off with at the start of our conversation. So I think some of the very interesting points you mentioned was Cadre. That was very nicely put together in way to say that how is AI positively impacting in various departments of marketing. That's one. The second one on the risk mitigation and all of that, I think there are risks, and if you put good governance guardrails, I think that is really going to help. And I think other point in terms of which is the long-term risk that you mentioned about was your cognitive dependency or content convergence, and I think those are the points which are very, very important to think about. And I think the last point which you mentioned about the CMO, the 5 pillars, which is very, very important, and I take those as really good in takeouts from this conversation. So thank you so much, Arun, for sharing these interesting inputs and interesting points that I'm sure a lot of our viewers have taken today. Any last points that you want to share with our viewers before we?
I think we have covered a lot of things, and first of all, thanks for having this conversation. This was quite good.
Yeah.
And one thing I would like to share for all the marketeers. In the age of AI, what should one thing that we should start doing or retain, right? I mentioned that earlier in the conversation, but I think something that's going to be really critical for us as marketeers is to remain as the knowledge base, is to bring in the real customer connect, real market understanding, so that whenever there is a conversation, we bring in that value.
Right.
We cannot depend entirely on AI.
Perfect.
The real market touch should not be lost.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Arun, and lovely having you here. My last point here is that to all the marketers or all the viewers who are watching this, redesign your AI native workflows. I think that is the most important thing that is there. It's not about just learning tools and all. It's about how do you implement things in your current workflows. I think that's one of the most biggest key takeout that we have from this conversation. Thank you for tuning in and hope you enjoyed this episode. Please share your feedback and views. and any other topic that you would want us to talk about in our coming month. Join us at the B2B Marketing Association for more such conversations, insights, research papers, and white papers from industry leaders and practitioners. Thank you.
The best B2B conversations don't just happen only on podcasts. They happen in rooms filled with industry leaders. Join the B2B Marketing Association and reserve your seat at the next B2B World Summit in your city.